Welcome to week 3 of Factions Melee, and behold, the new closers. So we're going to start with my games versus Vroom, obviously a very highly talented battler in GBL and in tournaments, running Fury Cutter Galvantula here just for the memes. I swapped straight out of the Bronzong matchup, and he stayed in to throw the body slam. I think perhaps he underestimated the speed of Fury Cutter, or it might confused me a bit, but he stayed in to do some chip. And his answer to the Galvantula was his own, which sort of indicated to me he hadn't brought the A9 this time around, which is really good. So what we can do here is definitely put a bit of pressure on by getting a shield from him, and then we can come in with A9 here. And here's where me thinking I was the smart running all these movesets, he was running cross poison on his Galvantula, so that was pretty crazy. Anyway, have to shield this one up, otherwise A9's going to be pretty low. So he's going to come back in, and he's got the Mewtwo here, so I'm just going to do a bit of chip here and then dip out. The Snorlax is half health, which is, you sort of got it low enough that the fast move pressure is going to be sufficient, but he stayed in here, and this sort of made me think, hang on, I'm going to shield this. He's got a lot of energy, and it was Earthquake, so great shield there. He opted not to shield here, which was ideal for me, and I can now just farm him down. He might get to a superpower, but it's only neutral against the tin can, and it also means that in the back he's used all that energy on Earthquake. Had me wondering what his other move was, whether he was running Rock Slide perhaps for A9 or whatever else he's running, but yeah, so I throw my Heavy Slam here, and that's going to leave him with very little health. And we're going to find out what other move he's running, because he throws now, and it's Side Strike, which does absolutely nothing to Bronzong, and we just swap to get the win. Alright, into game 2 here. It was at this point I learnt too, he had the whole team in with him in chat as well. So he had a fair bit of coaching help here. Now he manages to outpace me to the first move. Not sure if that's meant to happen, but probably is actually. Oh, it's probably about the same. But anyway, gets the lunge off here, and he's going to throw the cross poison now. Managed to sneak a Fury Cutter in for what it's worth. So a shield here. It's just a matter of exchanging shields, but he gets the boost, and this is absolutely terrible. It does mean his shield's here, but I probably should have swapped straight away. Oh, actually I had to throw that, but I should have then swapped here to make him get rid of his boost or throw. But it was only one other Volt Switch. So coming with the Bronzong, obviously that lunge is going to do a lot now, a lot more than it should. And I've swapped here thinking I could get the charms I needed through, but it turns out it needed more than one charm, so I've copped a lot of damage on both my Mon here. It's not looking good. He brings the A9 in, and this gives me a little bit of hope that he brought the A9 into this matchup. Makes me think that perhaps he's running the Armored Mewtwo in the back again, and at this point he swaps and it's the Armored Mewtwo in the back, and I've got a shield. So he's only going to be able to get to Earthquake once. So yeah, he's third confusion, so he's throwing, this is Side Strike, and that's good for me because I can means he can't get to Earthquake now that he's thrown that, so he's just gone for the Side Strike again here, and that's fine by me as well. You can see how little that does, and at this point I can even take another Side Strike, but he doesn't get to it, and the Heavy Slam is going to go through here. A9 absolutely walled by Bronzong. I survive and get the Heavy Slam through, and Heavy Slam memes for the win. So at this stage, brought it back to 9-9, and then Dus had to finish up against Thundercipher. Alright, so we're going into game 1 here. Vigoroth, Obstagoon. So Dus has made a pretty good call here. Goes into Sableye, and at this stage, it's looking pretty RPS. Dus will have to decide if he wants to commit shields here. You'd think his opponent's going to shield here, so the Body Slam bait could have worked pretty well there, but he's not going to risk it. He's just going to throw Power Whips by the looks, and I wonder if he's going to shield at all. He's getting that Sableye pretty low, letting this one go through. He'll definitely be able to get a second shield here if he throws the Power Whip, I think, but he'll have to shield once himself. Looking slightly dicey now if you don't bait, but I think having a shield, even though Obstagoon was lead and he loses switch, the return just does so much. Anyway, he's one switch there, but he's also swapped straight out in a heads up play. He didn't want Thunder Cypher getting ahead on energy, so he's brought his Vigoroth in, and he's spamming moves here. And he knows the Sableye doesn't have the worst matchup against Obstagoon, so gets the shield there, and I think at this stage he's probably not going to shield again. So let's see what moveset the Mew's running. Looks like it's, yeah, Wild Charge here. Doesn't think he can farm down, so he throws the Surf there, and at this point Sableye should be able to farm that down nice and easily. A little bit of energy on the Licky Tongue for a potential sack, but this return's going to do a lot. A foul play after this should be enough to KO the Goon. Move coming through here, he doesn't need to shield this. And yeah, well, that was well thought out in the end. He'll get to the Night Slash here, and yeah, it's GG's. So at this stage, I believe it was 10-10. So one game to go, who's going to win? Dus steps up to the plate and randomly brings his Talonflame and catches a Venusaur lead. So at this stage, it's looking pretty good. Goes into the Sableye safe swap, and once again, out comes Mr. Tongue and gets the done. And the beauty of this matchup too is that if Thunder Cypher commits both his shields to try and get that Venusaur off the Talonflame's just going to sweep in the back. So at this stage, Dus can probably commit maybe one shield, or even potentially just commit no shields here. He's going to commit one just to get to the second Power Whip and maintain alignment. But yeah, at this stage, it's all gold. He can even let the next Mon farm him down with the pressure of Body Slam if the Venusaur comes in. So it's the Goon that's even better. The Goon can't really threaten, and he gets off a last minute Body Slam here. Even with a cross draw, and he swaps straight away, so that was probably even worse. Worse of a play, unfortunately. And the Talonflame's just going to be able to rip through this Venusaur. It doesn't need to shield. Even the Sludge Bomb won't KO from here. He'll then get to his next move, and if the Goon doesn't throw, it's going to cop a Brave Bird or a double boosted Flame Charge for its trouble, and that's going to pretty much KO it. So he throws here a little bit early, but at this stage it's GG's. He's got a shield, and he can safely get to the Body Slam and shield a cross chop. Probably doesn't even need to shield the cross chop, but he's going to, and that's going to get him the win. Throws Night Slash, hoping for the boost. Hail Mary. And at this stage, Dus and Pick, the closers, get it done. 11-10, Dugongs, GG's.